Welcome to the deep dive. We got that really interesting paste and text from Ang about fish in Malaysia, and we know you want the key takeaways fast.
Exactly. So today we're diving into what Ang observed about these Malaysian rams and also some price shifts they noticed.
Yeah, trying to figure out what's going on there. It's a cool snapshot of the Malaysian aquarium scene.
Definitely. Ang gives us some good firsthand info to work with.
Okay, so first up, this Malaysian ram mystery. Ang had experience with Ram Cichlids, right? The standard ones, Microgeophagus from Malaysia, the Bolivian ram too.
And found them, well, maybe a bit trickier long term, compared to Jewel Cichlids anyway.
Right. Then suddenly these fish labeled Malaysian rams start showing up in local fish shops there.
And here's the kicker, like Ang points out. Rams aren't native to Malaysia, not at all.
No, that's the crucial point. Everyone knows rams are South American, Orinoco Basin, places like that.
So seeing Malaysian ram on a tank label, it immediately makes you think, okay, where did these actually come from?
Exactly. And Eng's conclusion seems, well, pretty straightforward. They're likely being bred locally.
Yeah, on Malaysian fish farms. It's the most logical explanation for that specific name, isn't it?
Totally. Why call them that otherwise?
Yeah.
And Eng mentioned having photos, too, which helps picture what they look like. It's not just a rumor.
Right. There's visual backing. And, this idea of local breeding is interesting in itself.
How so?
Well, it means Malaysian farms might be adapting these ram strains, maybe making them hardier for local conditions or even, selecting for certain looks.
Ah, so they could potentially start diverging a bit from the wild type or South American farmed ones over time?
Potentially, yeah. Slight differences could emerge. It happens.
Okay, interesting. Now, shifting gears a bit, Ang also talked about fish prices.
Seeing a general slight increase across different shops in Malaysia.
And Ang suggested two possibilities. Could be inflation or maybe scarcity of certain fish.
But seem to lean more towards inflation being the broader reason.
Yeah, that feels plausible. I mean, when general costs go up, you'd sort of expect fish prices to edge up too, right?
Absolutely. Scarcity usually hits specific, rarer species harder. A general rise across common fish often points to wider economic stuff like inflation.
And there was that specific example Ang gave, which really grounds it. Guppies.
Right, the common guppy. Seeing them go from, around 2 ringgit or less?
Yeah, up to maybe 3 ringgit per fish. It's not a huge jump in absolute terms, but for guppies.
Percentage-wise, for such a staple fish, it's noticeable. It suggests something beyond just supply demand for that one species.
Of course, Ang did add the caveat, prices always vary a bit, shop to shop, location to location.
That's true. Local competition, overheads, all that plays a role. You can't ignore those factors.
Sure, but the observation was about a trend across multiple places.
Which strengthens the inflation argument, or at least suggests a wider factor is involved. Global economic shifts can definitely trickle down, even to the price of a guppy in Malaysia.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Key points from Ang's observations for everyone listening.
First, these Malaysian rams popping up strongly suggest local breeding of non-native rams within Malaysia.
Got it. And second, there's this perception of ornamental fish prices creeping up, with inflation looking like a likely driver, even accounting for normal shop differences.
Yeah, those are the main takeaways from Ang's text.
So it leaves us with a thought, doesn't it? We've talked about local breeding, inflation, but thinking bigger picture about global trade, ecosystems, what else might be influencing fish availability and prices in a place like Malaysia, beyond what Ang mentioned?
That's a great question to chew on. You've got trade routes, environmental regulations, breeding trends in other countries, disease outbreaks. Lots of interconnected factors, really. It's complex.